Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of Fernbus Simulator. And today we're going to be heading into Munich from Nuremberg. So last time we came to Nuremberg, and that was a really fun trip. But now we are going to be departing from Nuremberg and going into Munich, and we are still trying to get into Switzerland. That is my goal at the moment, is to see Switzerland, and I'm hoping we're going to get there pretty soon, maybe within the next 2 or 3 episodes, hopefully. So yeah, let's get all these fine people logged in and on the bus, and then we can begin our trip.
Mahlzeit. Könnte ich bitte ein Ticket bei Ihnen kaufen? Habe ich mich wohl verfahren?
Okay, no, you are not coming with us. We are not stopping you again. So I decided that, you know, I need to try to make these videos not as long. I'd like to try to keep them around the 30-minute mark or so. But if they go over 45, I'm okay with that. But I don't really want to get these videos to go over 45 minutes. So originally I was going to go from Nuremberg to some other city and then to Munich, but it was just way too long. It was close to 15 minutes, so I decided to cut that out and just go straight into Munich instead. So we are using this lovely blue and white paint scheme that I put on this this bus here today. I think it looks pretty good. All right, we are about ready. We're just going to do our little trick here. Turn it on, turn it off real quick, and it still counts. It still counts, so you don't have to hear the whole announcement. Now, when I'm playing this, not doing content, I don't mind. I'll do the announcement. I'll actually just let it play, because in all reality, I feel like that's supposed to play and then you're supposed to depart. Because especially if you hear what the English guy says, you know, it sounds like you're supposed to let that whole announcement play before you actually leave. So I usually do that when I'm just playing for the fun of it. Here we go, though. We got a green light and we're ready to go. You know, I really can't help but to think what this game would look like if it was just completely remade in Unreal Engine 5, because honestly, like, I don't think the graphics look bad. I don't think they look bad now, and this is an old game. And you know, it's funny because I brought that up because someone brought up ETS2, European Truck Simulator 2, and they said, well, that's an old game, and that looks good. But the thing is, SCS, the developers of Euro Truck Simulator 2 and American Truck Simulator, they're constantly developing that game. They're constantly working on that game. They're constantly putting love into that game, right? So it's constantly getting updates. They're constantly redoing cities and countries and stuff like that, updating them, the looks and all that. And you know, TML, they don't do that with Fernbus, so that's why. So it's not so much that it's the age of the game. You know, this is an old game that hasn't been touched. They haven't redone anything in the game. Whereas Euro Trucks 2, they redo the cities, they redo the countries, they make them bigger, you know, they put more detail in them. They're always working on it. And it doesn't look like that TML is that type of company that will put that much love and time into 1 or 2 games, because they brought out Fernbus, then they brought out Tourist Bus, and now they're working on the bus. And who knows what they're going to do after that, right? I mean, personally, I would prefer if they went more this SCS route and just put all their time and effort into maybe this game and the bus. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work. But while we are on the subject of buses, Fabian did put out a video over the weekend, or maybe Friday. Maybe he put it out Friday. They're looking for beta testers for DLC. So I think it's pretty safe to say that we're getting close to getting DLC to come out in the game. And again, you know, I don't know where everybody got the idea that console was going to get all of the bus DLCs free. I mean, to me that is just absurd. I mean, as it is, we got all the map DLCs for free, and that's a hefty amount of money right there you're talking about if you got those all on PC, and we got them all for like $40, right? So not a bad deal. But yeah, I don't know why everybody thinks that we're supposed to be getting all of the bus DLC as well. That was never said. So the bus DLC will be paid DLC, you know, and I don't know. I'm really debating whether or not I'll buy it. It depends what we get in the DLC packages, I guess. From what I've seen on like Fernbus Simulator, the bus DLCs are like $25-$26. It seems a little pricey to me. It seems a little pricey. You know, I guess in some packs you get like 4 or 5 buses. Maybe another pack you get 5 or 6. It still seems a little pricey to me. Just for in-game buses, you know. I could see a map being that much, especially if it's a really big, detailed map. But I don't see why buses should cost as much as map DLCs. But you know, I guess it's very similar with Train Sim World. Train Sim World, the DLCs are just ridiculously expensive. I mean, they have map DLCs that are like $40 now, and I refuse to pay that for any DLC. Ah, there's our friend the sun. You know, again, I don't have the weather on dynamic. I have it on a sunny day because, as I said before, with the rain, leaving those big black circles behind the vehicles, it's just so off-putting. You know, I don't like seeing it. I really hope it's something that gets fixed. And again, we were supposed to have the splashing water when it rains behind the vehicles, so I think that's what that is. I think that's glitching. I think that's supposed to be the water kicking up from the tires, and it's not working. So we're seeing these black spots, or black circles even. So hopefully they'll get that fixed. I think it's always a question of, do they know what's broken? How much of what gets reported do they actually pay attention to and see? That's the big question, I think. Now, I would have to think that we're going to get another patch before we ever see DLC. I know that pretty much the day after they released the last patch, they said they were already working on the next patch. So hopefully we'll see that in a week or two. I don't think it's going to be too long, because I do know that he said that they're going to fix the Xbox, the whole Luxembourg issue on Xbox pretty soon. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm not an Xbox, but you know, I've said this before, guys. I don't care what you play on, whether you're on PC, Xbox, PlayStation, hell, even if you're on a Nintendo. I don't care. If a developer puts a game on that system, then you know we should all have a good experience with it. I don't really agree with any developer, you know, or anybody that thinks that, well, you know, you should be lucky that we even put our game on your console. You know, I don't buy into that. No, because you know, personally, me, I didn't beg anybody to give me any game. If a developer chooses to put a game on any platform, then they should make sure it runs, you know, well on that platform, and everybody that plays it gets a good experience. You know, so as I said, I don't care what you play on. You know, as a gamer, we all deserve to have a good experience playing games that we buy. You know, we're paying good money for these games, so there should be a little bit of expectation to have at least a game that's going to give you a good experience. And so far, like I said, I haven't had a really bad experience with this game yet. I have really been enjoying it. And this has really been now like my go-to game for just chilling out, just kind of relaxing. I'll just start this game up and select a route and sit there behind my wheel and put on some Spotify and just relax, and it's really good for that. The most stressful part of the game is the AI traffic, and sometimes it's annoying, but it does remind me of driving in real life. I'm not gonna lie. I will say the sunlight, the rays that come into the windshield stuff, and you see those like round light, like the green and blue dots, like you would see in real life. That's really impressive, and I'll tell you, I can't help but to think what it would look like with the Unreal Engine 5 lighting. And I know I keep bringing this up, but it's like if it looks this good now, just imagine what it would look like with like the ray tracing. And I mean, I don't know if console could even handle it with ray tracing. I'm sure if they ever do that, they would have to probably do a performance mode and a quality mode. So we would probably have to knock down the FPS on the PS5 and Xbox Series X to 30 FPS. Because it seems like that's what a lot of the games are doing, right? It's like you can't have both. You can't have ray tracing and 60 FPS, which, incidentally, I'm thinking that's probably what's going to happen if they come out with a PS5 Pro or something like that. I'm sure they're going to figure out a way to have ray tracing, 4K, and 60 FPS all together, which sucks because I feel like they probably already have the technology and know how to put it in the PS5, but they just didn't want to. I really feel that they could do a lot more with console, but they want to keep the price down because basically, what is it, right? It's just a PC, but they need to keep the price down so they don't put the best components in it. What if they offered that though? What if they did? What if they offered, PS5 and Xbox Series X, and they said, hey, for like $400 you could get the basic one, like what we have now, or maybe if you want to spend $800-900 for a more powerful one, that'd be an option. But anyway, we have to get off the highway here because we do have a police check. And guys, lots of things in this game just have my mind reeling. Like this police check. The police check is cool. It just makes me think though how cool it could be if it was just more detailed. Like imagine if when you pull up, you see the police there, and maybe the policeman comes to your window, or you have to open the door up, and you see the police officer step into the bus, and he's checking everything. I think that would be so cool. Again, like I said, this is an old game, so obviously this is fine. The way they do it, I don't have an issue with it. But yeah, I think it would be cool to kind of see the police officer, get on the bus, check the passengers, kind of like look around. I think it'd be pretty cool. And like I said, there's no way you could fail it. It just is what it is. It's just a little bit of immersion, I think, added to it. But again, I appreciate it. Little things like that really go a long way in the simulator. I feel anyway. All right, we're back on the highway, and man, there really isn't that much traffic. I'm almost thinking maybe my traffic density was turned down. I remember I was on a route that got really backed up, and I turned it way down to try to get the traffic to clear out. I'm wondering if I set it back to 75. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Have I done that since the last live stream? Because I definitely had it set at 75 at the last live stream, so maybe just this time of day doesn't have a lot of traffic? That doesn't seem right though, right? What is it? Yeah. Oh well. I will check that for next time though, to make sure we have that set correctly. Are those mountains in the distance? I think they are, you know. So, are those is that Switzerland over there in the distance? Is that what those mountains are, or what mountains are in Germany? Because, like I said, we're going to Munich, and I have no idea, guys. Like, I don't, I'm not good, especially with like European geography. I have no idea what would be in front of us, but it does look like there's mountains in the distance. And I gotta say, I don't quite understand how it is that this game has a draw distance that good, that the mountains look that good, but yet up close, trees pop in. Yeah, I don't understand. You know, I don't know how that works. I don't understand how it can render in those mountains from that far away, but has a very difficult time rendering in things close to you. Hmm. Maybe one day my answers, maybe one day my questions will get answered. I doubt today will be that day, but hopefully. And what's to our left? Are those like nuclear power plant or something over there? Big like smokestacks or something. You know, I gotta say, this is the part of the game I think I really enjoy the most. Like I love the cities. Don't get me wrong, because there's a lot to look at in the cities, but this is like the relaxing part. Just getting on the open highway, just seeing the countryside, just being able to drive. This is the real like zen part of it. You know, until traffic stops abruptly in front of you and you have to slam on your brakes and cause an accident. But yeah, it's just so relaxing, you know. And, I was watching some YouTube content creators that did this game and still actually do content on this game. And even on the PC version, even with guys that have decent PCs, I see popping. I see that it performs very similar to this. There's areas on the map that the popping is really bad. So, I guess we did get a pretty good port. I guess they just had the same issues. Like those trees there, they shouldn't disappear like that. The foliage. I don't know what that is. That's very strange. Now, I was playing Construction Simulator because that just got an update, and wow, I don't know what they did to that game, but on my PS5, it is just running worse than it ever has. I mean, it looks horrible. It's not running well. It was crashing for the longest time. I couldn't even play the game. So I figured that out with the help of someone in their Discord. Someone from, I believe, Astragon helped me out with that one. But yeah, I don't know what they did, but it's not good. And it's a shame because that was a good game. It was a good game, but the updates have just killed it. That's a perfect example of a game that it seems like with each patch, it gets worse somehow. Really disappointing. I literally ended up just deleting it. Hopefully someday they'll get it working better and I'll bring it back. But until then, I just yeah, I can't play it. So I am trying something new. I recorded the video of my drive, and I'm actually recording the commentary after, because I wanted to know if it was going to be like my racing games where I can concentrate a little better driving. And what is that to the left? What is that to the left right there? Does anybody know? Does that say that's an arena? So is that like maybe a soccer team, or is it a sports arena, or maybe like a big concert venue? I'd love to know what that is. If you guys know in the comments, fill me in on that, will you? And that's another thing. That thing in front of us there. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not trying to be like a tourist here, but what is that? I don't see things like that here in the States. I have no idea what that is. Is that a building? Is that some kind of antenna? What is that? To all my European viewers out there, please let me know. I would love to know. Oh, God. I don't know what the hell was going on there. Nobody even used the exit. Now, usually that happens when someone wants to take an exit because they'll just stop and then switch lanes, which I don't understand. But yeah, no one even got off on that exit, so I don't know why he stopped like that. I guess he just wanted to shake up my bus trip a little bit here. Scare my passengers, I guess. So I have to say, I'm really surprised. I haven't had the sunlight in my face too much this trip. Normally, like the whole trip is just nothing but sunlight in my face. So this is working out pretty well. One of the things that, you know, I think they do have to fix are the shades in the buses, though, because they really don't do anything. You know, it's kind of pointless even having them on there because they don't do anything. They don't block out the sun, that's for sure. I think maybe one bus they do. Is it the Lions Intercity? Or maybe is it the Man's Coach Second Gen, but not the Coach C? It's definitely not the bus we're in right now. So it's got to either be the Coach Second Generation, or it's got to be the Intercity. Because it's definitely not the Skyliner either. Yeah, those mountains in the distance, man, that looks good. What's this I'm saying? Like, the mountains look so good, and even the wind turbines, the high tension power lines, you know, they all render in well. It's like the stuff that's the closest to you has the worst time. And honestly, the grass doesn't bother me too much, although, you know, well, it's kind of hard to see right now with the sun. It doesn't look like the grass is having the issues with the rendering. You know, I wonder if it's specific kind of trees that are having the difficulty, or what. I don't know. But we are using the real date, so you guys can clearly see when I recorded this, because it's in the sat-nav, because I am using the real date. Not using the real time, but I am using the real date. I think that's a really cool feature, and I know I've said this before, but any kind of sim that's like this, that is going to include like cities, seasons and stuff like that, I would love to see them include your real system's date and time. I think that's a really nice touch. Okay, so this is my first time in Munich. Well, not my first time. I did this route once before because, like I said to you guys, I need to do a dry run of the route to see how long it's going to take. Now, I don't mind if I have a long route that I might have to do in a two-part, but I need to find out like when would be a good time to stop one video to begin the next part. You know what I mean? So that's why I do it one time. I drive the route, and I set a timer on my phone, and I see what we have, and then I'll do the actual video that I'm going to put up on YouTube. So this has been a really nice trip. I've enjoyed this trip. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. We are getting closer. So, you know, I wouldn't mind seeing them do something like SCS does with ATS, ETS2. On those games, the scale changes depending on where you are. I believe on the highway, the scale is like maybe 116 or 117, or maybe it's 118. But then the cities, it's a bigger scale, so it's like a 110 or something like that. So yeah, so the cities feel bigger, but then when you're on the highway, it's not like incredibly long. I think that they would have done a good job if they would have done something like that here. You know, just make the cities feel bigger. And you know, the fact that they put like sightseeing things in this game, but yet you never go past them on your route, right? They never, I mean, I think it would be cool if they would let you kind of create your own route, but you pick where you want to go, you know what I mean? So you could bring the people past the sightseeing things and stuff like that. But then again, I mean, these people probably live here. They don't want to see that stuff, do they? This isn't like a tourist kind of thing. You know, that might be a pretty cool DLC to think about, though, right? Kind of do like a tourist DLC where you're bringing people around to, you know, restaurants and different sites and stuff like that. Might be an interesting thing to add. That is one of the things that I really enjoy about FlixBus Simulator. You know, the different aspects of it. That you have the, you know, the kind of regular routes where you're going to bus stops, but then you have the shuttles. You know, I like where you can pick people up from a hotel and bring them to like go rent bikes, or, you know, go to a restaurant or something like that, or a beach. It was a real nice touch. I love how we just went from like an area that the buildings looked older. Now the buildings look a lot more modern looking, you know. Very interesting how they did that. This is a big bus station. Look at this. This is a really cool terminal, actually. I like this. I like this a lot. But we are at our final stop. We are in Munich, and you know, I don't know where we're going to go from here. Like I said, I want to go into Switzerland, so we're going to head that way. We're going to head that way next. I'm not sure exactly where we'll go, but you know what? We're going to go right from here. So just for a little added realism, I don't have the bus stop marked. It's not this one. I think it's the next one down. Yeah, it's definitely the next one down. Yeah, so here we are at our final destination, guys. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I had a lot of fun making it. It was a fun trip. I hope you guys are enjoying the game. If you're having any issues, hop into their Discord and let them know. I appreciate you guys watching my videos, and I hope you're all having a fantastic day, and we will see you next time.